The story opens with a group of friends at a party drinking. They start talking about an app that seemingly predicts how long a user has left to live called Countdown. One by one, they start sharing the date they were assigned, but one of the friends, named Courtney, gets an assigned death time later that night. After the party, Courtney's boyfriend Evan is drunk and attempting to drive her home, but because of the countdown timer, she's wary to let him drive her home and insists they walk. Evan gets mad and drives off on Courtney, leaving her to walk home alone. She then gets a notification saying that she violated the user agreement of the Countdown app. While she's walking, a cloaked figure follows closely behind her, but then the figure peels off and gets into a nearby car and drives off. Courtney runs into her house and locks the door. She looks outside, breathing heavily. She then goes into the bathroom, fills a glass of water, checks the shower as the Countdown app goes off, and is attacked by an unseen entity and killed as her timer reaches 0. The scene shifts to where an SUV crashed into the woods. The driver was Evan. In the passenger seat, where Courtney would have been, there is a tree branch that has gone through the truck and into the seat. Courtney would have died. Either way. At the hospital, Evan meets Quinn, a nurse, who tries to comfort him. He tells her about Courtney and his suspicions about the app. He also reveals that he downloaded it, and it says he will die at the time he's due to go into surgery, but Quinn dismisses his claims. We meet Quinn's coworkers, working under head nurse Amy, and a few of them start downloading the Countdown app, laughing about the time they have. Suddenly, a couple enters the hospital room, with the girlfriend apparently overdosed, so the staff resuscitates her with Narcan. We go back to Evan, who's wandering around an under-construction area of the hospital to avoid surgery. He gets the user agreement violation. He sees a hooded figure behind him in the hallway mirror, and when he looks back, it's gone. The lights flicker. He escapes to a stairwell, only to be confronted by an evil version of Courtney and killed. Quinn is leaving work for the day and downloads the Countdown app. She sees she has 3 days to live, but shrugs it off. She stops by her dad's house to get information for her I-9. The TV's on. She hears a noise in the closet, opens it to find her younger sister, Jordan, hiding. She slides some clothes over, revealing a bare-chested boy. She scolds her sister, tension building between them, as Quinn hasn't been around much since their mother died. At work the next day, Quinn learns Evan died. She goes down to where his body is stored to find his phone. She sees a photo of Courtney and him on his home screen and decides to research it. She tries unlocking his phone, sees his countdown has ended. Back upstairs, Quinn is uneasy, cancels plans to hang with her family, and then gets a notification. She's violated her user agreement. As she walks through the halls, a dark figure appears in the background of a room. When she walks backwards, the figure is gone. Dr. Sullivan calls her to a room under the guise of checking on a faulty machine, but he tries to harass her. Quinn turns him down and flees. In the hallway, she tries talking to Nurse Amy, but Dr. Sullivan calls her to check on a patient to stop her. At home, Quinn researches the app, watches a video about it, and reads comments disputing it as fake. Suddenly, she sees the ghost of Evan. It scares her, and she goes to sleep in her car. The next day, Jordan wakes her up. They go inside. Jordan finds out about the app, learns Quinn has 1 day left. They argue. Jordan says she's going to download the app, and Quinn refuses to let her stay over. Then she leaves. Quinn buys a new phone, and freaks out when the app re-downloads itself. Even with a new number, SIM card, and service.
Delete it.
In her car, she sees the cloaked figure in the rear view, and backs into someone's car when it attacks her. The other driver confronts her. Matt comes to her defense. He knows about the Countdown app. They go to the hospital to talk to a priest, but he refers them to another one who can help. Quinn's called by Nurse Amy. Matt goes to the bathroom and is attacked by an unknown entity. Quinn is confronted by HR as Dr. Sullivan reverses the story to blame Quinn. She's suspended. At a bar, they trick a patron into downloading the app to review the user agreement. They realize that changing any plans that could cause their deaths violates the user agreement, like Quinn's trip with her family and Matt's train ride. They go to talk to the priest. He says they'll need the app hacked to get the code. They bribe the phone store manager to do it, adding more time to their apps. And to Jordan's countdown, which is 3 minutes before Quinn's. Later that night, Matt stays over with Quinn, and after she's attacked by the evil being, they both notice the countdown clock has reverted back to its original time. Quinn's sister is confronted by the being, and they rush to help her. They consult the priest again. He identifies the demon, Ozin, and says that if they beat the countdown by 1 second, they'll win. They prepare a warding circle, but Matt is lured out by Ozin, who takes the form of his brother. It drags him outside. Quinn and Jordan give chase. Matt gets hit by a car and killed, as his last breath expires when the app said. Quinn starts crying, accepting her fate, when she discovers Jordan was impaled during the chase. They rush her to the hospital, where Dr. Sullivan tends to her. Quinn is taken aside by another coworker, who reveals she was also assaulted by Dr. Sullivan, and will back Quinn up legally. Quinn seduces Dr. Sullivan to the under-construction wing, where she launches a plan discussed with the priest. If someone dies before their time, it will defeat the demon. She tries to inject Sullivan with an overdose of morphine, but the evil being drags him away as they fight. Ozin hunts down Jordan, throwing her through a window. As Quinn searches for Sullivan, he escapes, but Quinn is injured. The Ozin prepares to kill Jordan. As her timer runs out, Quinn tries to inject herself with morphine, sacrificing herself. The evil being transforms into her mother, stalling Quinn, trying to make the seconds tick away. Quinn resists and finally injects herself, causing the evil being to turn to ash. Jordan runs to her collapsed sister and cries. She notices a diagram Quinn wrote on her arm, showing where to inject Narcan. She does it, and Quinn comes back to life. They hug. The story ends with Quinn, Jordan, and their dad at her mother's grave, visiting. As they leave, they see the news about Sullivan's arrest. More nurses came forward with similar stories. Then, Quinn gets a new notification. Countdown has finished updating to version 2.0 on her phone, indicating another problem coming their way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please follow or subscribe, and don't forget to like, share, and comment. Your support means everything and helps me create more great content.